going to be a lot of Michigan State and a lot of puppies, but that's what we got. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Crystal Holloman, a digital reporter here at News 10, and I am joined by Joey Ellis, and we're going to be talking a lot of Michigan State. As you can see, campus behind me here. A lot going on before
Certainly.
You guys got in.
Yeah,
so
to say the least.
We can start out really with what came out first, which is a couple of Spartan basketball players announcing their return to East Lansing.
They did, and kind of expected for both of them. Jaden Akins and A.J. Hoggard, the senior point guard, are both back, and East Lansing is Nathan Stern, former MSU grad's pretty thrilled over there watching.
He's literally in the corner watching us.
It was kind of interesting. They went almost the entire timeline of when they could take their name out of the NBA draft list there, and kind of went right up to the last second. And Akins maybe a little bit more surprising. I think some people felt there was maybe some upside there from an NBA perspective.
And his came first.
And then about 10 minutes later, AJ's came along, which was not surprising. I mean, that's a guy who I think could certainly benefit from another year, but it's big news for Michigan State and a team that'll certainly be ranked probably top 5 preseason, and probably Tom Izzo's best chance at winning a national title in some time. Probably the most talented team he's had in some time.
And these aren't the only ones returning. We already knew about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 now, Malik Hall and Tyson Walker also returning.
Which were also very big, especially getting Tyson Walker back with how good he was down the stretch for them. Malik Hall probably, don't really know his choices outside of MSU or, trying to pursue a pro career. But if anything, it's a guy who brings a lot of miles on those legs, maybe good and bad, because he's been a guy who's been injured at times, but still a veteran voice in the locker room. And
Akins was also hurt.
He was hurt for a good chunk of the season, and kind of once they got him back and healthy, was a big piece. Still, I thought a piece that they still needed some more out of to go from good to elite, and maybe that'll be next year, because he's a 17, 18 points kind of guy, a night scorer. So big news for basketball. They certainly needed it, and probably will be the preseason favorite in the Big Ten, at least heading in.
And they both kind of indicated some pre-NBA draft movements before all this happened. What do you think happened with that?
Well, neither of them earned NBA Combine invites, which not everybody does. It's a pretty small list, but that kind of, plays a role in that fact that if you're not even getting an invite to the Combine, you kind of see where you maybe shake out in terms of potentially getting drafted. But if anything, I think both of those guys went in there and just, sought some NBA advice from scouts and whatnot to, hey, here's what you have to work on and improve on, which is invaluable because you can pull your name out as they've done. So they kind of figured what they have to work on, and we'll see if, that comes to fruition this season.
All right. Well, the other news that came out of MSU today is additional times for Michigan State football games announced. And here is what we have after I get all of this other stuff off really quick. We've got, actually, let me take this off too. A couple of games with networks, including the Central Michigan game, which will be on a Friday night. That is going to be on FS1. And then Richmond Spiders come to town on Big Ten Network. And an interesting one, a 5 p.m. game on Peacock.
That is interesting, and I still don't really understand the streaming. Peacock's not,
don't knock streaming. That's what we're doing.
Well, I know, but I don't. That's not on our air. It is on Peacock, or is it a separate? It's a separate subscription, though.
This Washington will be on Peacock, but also games that are
locally on WILX.
Yes.
Okay. So kick time, 5 o'clock.
That's what I was saying. It's a weird time.
You don't see those a whole lot.
Is it because of Washington being on Pacific Coast?
I don't exactly know with how the schedule worked out with potentially some of the other Big Ten windows that they have with maybe CBS and whatnot. So that'll be the big game, and at 5 o'clock for that one. That's the measuring stick game that I think heading in to see if Michigan State's going to be remotely competitive or not this season, because they got knocked around pretty good there last year, came back late, wasn't enough, and that's a team, Washington, who is my preseason pick to win that conference in the Pac-12. So they're going to be very good, and they're going to come here, and it's going to be a big game, and we'll see if Spartan Stadium's juiced up for that one, because they're going to need it.
And, of course, we also know that they're going to be playing Penn State on Black Friday.
So they
in Detroit.
Start and end the season with Friday night games, which is interesting. And probably, I don't know if that's ever been done, if I had to guess, for Michigan State.
Huh. That will be interesting. I didn't think about it that way.
So that'll be interesting. And then Maryland and Rutgers, those kick times, neither of those will be easy games. Maryland's going to be, I think, sneaky good this year. So we know at least 5 kick times, and then shifting to your alma mater.
We also know a couple of games on the Michigan side of things, including another one on Peacock, actually opening up against the East Carolina Pirates.
Well, I said it earlier, and I don't want to poke fun at your school, but the last time Michigan opened up on a new Big Ten platform, it was also resulted in a team from North Carolina, and I'm sure you know how the result of that game went. But so they get Eastern Carolina. First game from the Big Ten on Peacock, so that'll be interesting.
Our diehard Spartan fan, who's also a North Carolina native over there, Nathan, is very excited about that. But
nothing to worry about.
No. Well, we thought that last time. But there's the Michigan side of things. And then going to switch out of college for just a second, and some sad, disappointing news, I guess, for Tigers fans. Riley Green is on the injured reserve list.
And that's why they got Jake Marisnik, who I believe used to play for the Lugnuts at some point. He was not yet a sign of the Tigers, so they made that move yesterday. And then, earlier today, Riley Green. So you've got Riley Green, you have Eduardo Rodriguez, who's allegedly at least 10 days, they say, and then Matt Vierling as well. So they're starting to, guys have dropped like flies.
Are we getting to that kind of point in the season where we're starting to see the wear and tear on some of those players after they get a little hot?
It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be at this point. I mean, you can't manage injuries and whatnot, but it always seems like they get these crops of guys at some point early in the season who all go down at the same time, and there's no definitive timetable for any of their returns. And this is at a point where they're starting to actually piece together some pretty good baseball and play some pretty good baseball, and they're trying to hold off Texas as we speak. So, I mean, can they hover around the 500 mark by the time the break comes up? We'll see, but certainly not ideal to have a lot of these guys, especially Riley Green, who's been playing really well for them, start to go down now.
We are in the top of the ninth, and it's still 3-2 Tigers.
They need one. They need a win for sure.
But if you need some cheering up, Tigers fans, how about you meet Spencer Torkelson's dog, Coco? You see this? This was yesterday, actually. The Tigers posted some pictures of the dog out on Comerica Park's field. It's pretty great content, I've got to say.
The replies are funny. Corkelson.
Yeah. It's pretty great, though.
You can't have enough dog content.
No, we got some dog days of summer coming up still with the Lugnuts, and of course.
What kind of dog is that? Do we know?
It looks like a French bulldog.
Your guess is as good as mine. It's a very cute guy.
I am willing to take one for the team and go down there to find out.
Yeah, it's not a bad assignment.
So what's coming up? I know the sports department is very busy. That's why I had to pull you out really quick.
Tim was
to do this.
Traffic to come in here, coming back from Grand Rapids, so he's now in the house. Diamond Classic semifinals today. First game at 5 o'clock. Olivet, very good team, and Okemos, who's also very good, led by Virginia commit Caleb Bonnemer. So they'll open it up at Michigan State at McLean Stadium at 5, and then St. John's and Grand Ledge, who's won this thing 27 times, most out of anybody in the area.
Good.
They'll play in the nightcap, and Fred will be live with, I believe, St. John's at 5:30 from McLean Stadium. So
I believe that's what I heard him say.
I walked in, wasn't exactly aware of what's going on, but 2 games going on, and then we've got district baseball, softball, regional title, and lacrosse on Friday. Couple days from now, so a lot going on, but those are the 2 big things tonight at MSU if you want to check out some pretty good baseball.
All right, well, that's what we got. We'll be back again tomorrow. Let me take that back off. We'll be back again tomorrow with more sports takers on screen. Of course, you can always see all those high stories that we covered on sunscreen and pool safety and outdoor safety, all on WILX.com and all of our streaming platforms. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys.